I messaged George Rose saying I want the winner of Justin Frost and Dean Thomas for the Australian title.
Yeah.
Australian Super Lightweight title. There we go.
When's that
And I
fight
said,
happening?
I want the winner. That's July 9th. I'll be
be
good.
ready.
Yeah, I'll be good by August, September.
Make it happen, Georgie.
Let's do it. Come on, Georgie. Do me a favour, brother.
That's the money
Let's
fight.
bring an Australian title to No Limit.
You mentioned before Mike Tyson as well. I wanted to get into that. What was that like? You went to America.
It's crazy. But I'll tell you one funny thing. I'm sitting down and we just had lunch and he's gone and sparked up another joint. And I'm just here just looking at this guy thinking, this is Mike. And then he looks at me and he goes, I wonder who my ancestors were 10,000 years ago. And I'm like, what the fuck's going through his head? And then he just takes another thing and I go, man.
Well, I'll get straight into it. You're 24 years old, 10th in Australia, welterweight, 5-0. Is that where you want to be?
Nah.
Are you happy with where you are?
Nah.
No?
It's just the beginning, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm a super lightweight. I know it says welterweight, but I'm one down. I struggle to find opponents at my weight, so that's why we moved
you
up
go
and
up?
stuff. Yeah.
Seriously. What's it like finding, do you have a manager? I know you fight under No Limit sometimes. How's it work?
No Limits, I think, the biggest platform in Australia. I reckon they're the best to do it, you know. So it's a privilege to fight under those guys, but any show I could ever get on, I'll try my best to get on. It's pretty hard to get fights in Australia. Aussies don't want to fight other Aussies, especially with guys my experience.
Do you have big amateur experience?
Nah, seven fights, 6 wins.
Far out.
I reckon I still won that loss too,
Yeah.
but that's another story. And
That's all right. It's not on the record.
yeah, so yeah, I've had under 15 fights, amateur and pro put together, and there's guys out there with 50 plus amateur fights and a lot of pro fights, more experience than me, and they won't take the fight.
Why is that, you reckon? Scared?
I don't know. I think right now at my stage, I've got. If you beat me, you've beat a novice, and if you lose to me, it's high risk, no reward.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what I think now, and that's why I could take my hat off to the last guy, even though I don't like him. I could take my hat off to him for taking a fight like that. Yeah.
What was his record?
3-0, but he brought in a lot of MMA experience. He had over 40 fights or something like that. He was saying.
That's the thing with boxing, It's like everyone's just trying to protect the O.
Well, especially with COVID coming through, so that eliminated overseas opponents coming in, which a lot of guys with my experience will come and fight these guys from Thailand, from Asia, or Fiji and all those type of guys to build a record to get to 15-0, 20-0, then take the risk. But COVID's eliminated them, so now these guys are forced to fight each other. So I'm not forced to fight Trent, but yeah, these undefeated guys will fight these undefeated guys, and then some guys won't do it or have excuses and they shy away from it. And that's where Aussie boxing the real ones have stepped up, and you see the real from the fake.
You can turn off the aircon too if you want, if it gets hot. Pumped it up because it was fucking freezing. Shout out Maddie, we're using your electricity bill, Matt. But do you reckon, you see how people cherry pick like that and, fight someone that's 0 and 10?
Yeah.
Although that's building up their record and setting them up maybe for a big fight later, do you reckon that kind of stunts their growth?
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Or is it they're still training hard, so it's all right?
You're still getting ring time, which is, the most valuable thing I think out of it. But if you're going to just keep fighting guys levels below you, you're never going to get to where you want to be, I think.
Yeah, you're not going to test yourself.
And if you do, you're gonna fight these guys, then you're going to go from here to here, and you end up fighting a guy, and you've skipped every level in between, and then you're going to be in for a rude awakening. And that's what a lot of guys, what happened to a lot of Aussie fighters and other fighters that try to take the easy route.
So what do you want to do?
I want to clean out my backyard. I just want to fight domestic fights, win an Australian title. My dad won an Australian title. Jeff won an Australian title. Just follow the footsteps of my idols and just go from there. And then you go regional. Then you go internationally and do your stuff out there.
So you said you're super lightweight, your preferred. Is there a couple guys that you have in your radar in those weights, super lightweight or welterweight?
Whoever's got the Australian title. Yeah. Today I saw 2 guys that weren't announced to fight for the Australian title, which is vacant now.
So it's super lightweight, it says it's vacant.
63.5 kilo.
Yeah. Who are they? Who's
Justin Frost and I forgot the other guy, Dean Thomas, that's it. And they're fighting each other.
4 and 9. like ranked
You
4
say-
and 9.
Yeah. I don't even know
How
what
does
they
that
rank.
work?
That's it's a vacant title. Anyone in the top, there's not many fighters in there, so they can do it.
Yeah.
I'd love to fight the winner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cracker.
for
Make
sure.
it happen.
For sure.
Your last fight was against Trent. What was that like? A few antiques in the press conferences leading up to it. How'd you handle that? Has been the first time for you?
I'm not the type to talk
Yeah.
that shit. Yeah, sorry for my language. Can I swear?
Yeah, say whatever you want.
I'm not the type to talk shit. That's not
Actually,
me.
you can't fucking swear.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. Me, I'll talk shit with the boys
Yeah.
when I'm sitting with my mates, but when there's cameras on you and I'm working, that's my job. So I don't like to get involved, but I did.
Mm.
It was good to knock him, not knock him out, but
Take him out.
knock that smile off his face.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was the one upset after. I was the one, with bragging rights. Even though he went and wanted to keep talking shit after, but he can talk shit. He's the one with the one on his record, 3-1, and I continue my undefeated streak. Yeah.
How do you keep level headed like that? Because like it would have been your first kind of experience with the cameras and the press conferences where you're on the mics, kind of like how you see in the UFC all the time, and this guy's talking loud, and you just have to kind of do your thing. But and then going into the fight, how do you like stick to the game plan and not just go and try and knock the gun out like in the
You
first
just
round?
got to just try eliminate everything and just realize I've trained the last 10 weeks. I've trained my whole life for this. This is the moment. I'm on TV. Everyone's watching. This guy's mouth has brought eyes to this fight. You got to fucking step up.
Yeah.
You got to step up or shut up. And I think I did. I think when I got in there, I was real nervous, very nervous. I don't know if you can watch it. There's a video on YouTube that my mate, he's got a YouTube channel. It's called Speak to JJ, and he's got a camera and he just shows all behind the scenes and stuff. You see me in the changing room. I'm sitting
That's
like
mad.
this, and I'm thinking, fuck, what am I doing? Just shitting myself and
At that time, you're thinking that or watching it back?
before.
Yeah?
Before I was real scared.
That would have been your biggest kind of fight
Yeah,
and
yeah.
most eyeballs and stuff.
Yeah, so it was scary, but you see in that video, you see me shitting myself and stuff, and then I'm walking out and I'm taking everything in, and then the guy clips me with a right hook in the first round, and I go down, and I'm thinking, shit.
Is that the first time you've gone down?
First time.
Even inspiring and stuff, you wouldn't gone down?
Sparring, I think everyone's been dropped in sparring
Yeah.
before. I've been
Yeah.
dropped in sparring before.
That was the first
Yeah.
time in a proper fight where
Yeah.
it matters.
Yeah, first time, and the
How'd you deal with that?
all of Australia got to see. I looked at Jeff. I was surprised. I didn't think I had gotten dropped until the ref started counting because I wasn't hurt. I shook my legs after, and I said, "Fuck, what's going on here?" Looked at my dad. Looked at Jeff. I said, "All right, it's time to fucking work."
Yeah.
So I stood up, did what I had to do, and we shut him the fuck up. And that's it.
What'd you think of the post-fight antiques?
Look, I went to shake hands with this guy. Even though we don't like each other, I have to respect the guy because we punched on for 6 rounds. I've been taught, I come from a place where if you fight as kids or whatever, I'll just shake hands after the scrap. You win or lose, you shake hands, and the matter's dealt with there. And there you go, it's done with. So I thought I'd go shake his hand and be the bigger man, and he didn't want any of it. It just shows what type of person he is.
Mm.
And I'm never going to give him the rematch. I'm never going to give it to him because I know, I'll give it to him on one exception. I know if I were to lose that fight, he would never give me the rematch. He'll never give me the privilege. I know he'll run with it. But if he were to win an Australian title, the thing I want, then I'll rematch him. So that's what he has to do. I know he wants it.
Yeah.
So if he wants it, then he's got to win an Australian title.
Yeah, I saw the video where it's like they buried the hatchet, and I saw you walk in and shake it. I was like, "There's not really buried the hatchet. He didn't really want to shake hands."
You've seen it,
Yeah.
You've seen it, but he had to.
But it is what it is. He'll take that L and that lesson. Hopefully, gets better for it.
Let him take it. Now I'm gonna also be the better man again. Wish him the best of luck in his MMA career, but he shouldn't be
Let's
putting.
go MMA then.
Yeah, let him stay there. I hope I was his last boxing match. He can stay. He can stay on the other
I
side.
love MMA and I love UFC. Like, it's probably one of my second favorite sports in the world.
Yeah.
But these guys got to realize it's a different ball game when you come from MMA to boxing.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just switch like that.
Oh, I think the same too. It's different. It's like me going into MMA.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna go and choke any.
It's completely different sport.
It's different. It's like an NRL player gonna go try kill it in AFL. How are you gonna do that?
Speaking of big fights, what do you think of this will come out after, but Cambosis and Haney
I
coming
hope
up?
George wins.
Yeah.
I hope George wins for Aussie boxing.
You know what, bro? You're like one of the rare Aussie boxers that are rooting for George.
Yeah.
Overall, like I've seen a lot of hate towards him. I don't get it.
Anyone can hate. I just respect what he's done. For him to go and beat a guy overseas and
Massive.
in his hometown and win 4 belts. It's crazy. It's crazy, and what he's doing, he's bringing the big fights here to Australia. I'm myself going because I'm a before being a fighter, I'm a fan as well. I'm a fan of boxing, so I'm going to be there enjoying it, and I hope he comes away with it because it's good for our sport. It's good for guys like me, guys like Tim Zoo, Brock Jarvis, all these guys in Australia. It brings eyes to us because I went to America not long ago.
Yep.
And
we'll get into that.
They don't know us.
No.
They don't know us. No.
We know them, but
they go, yeah, we know them. We know all their novices. We know everyone, the prospects and the champions. And they asked me, who's there from Australia? And there's a guy named Brock Jarvis who I went down there with, and Brock put a beating on most of their guys, and they had to get a new guy for him every day because he kept putting on him, and then there was no more. So then me and Brock had to punch on for spar, obviously. Yeah. Me and Brock had to spar. So then I became Brock's main spar partner, but most of his guys couldn't even hang with him. So
I must say, bro, Brock looks like a hard cunt.
He's a beast. He's a beast.
His frame and everything, and the way he fights, like, he's good, man. For me, I came, he was 54 kilo. Yeah. I was 75. Now, 4 years later, we're both at 63 and a half. We've met halfway, and we're best of training partners. And how old is he?
I've learned a lot. He's my age, 24.
Yeah.
A little bit older than me.
How'd you get into boxing? Your dad's a boxer?
Yeah.
So you've always been around it as a kid. Did you always want to do it?
Always wanted to do it. My dad made me play soccer, which I loved. I loved soccer, but got involved in the wrong crowd and doing shit us boys do growing up and experimenting and doing this and that. And my dad found out and he just goes to me, fucking stop this shit and blah, blah, blah. You wanna get into boxing? Let's do it. So
what age was that?
I was popping in and out of the gym still at that time. It was 18, 19, something
ago.
Like that, yeah. So I was popping in and out of the gym, still smoking, still not knowing what I wanted to do. And then I stopped actually for a couple months. And then my dad thought, fuck, I gave up again and all this shit. And then I just started training behind his back, just kept going. Just up until I had a fight lined up in like 4 weeks' time. And I go, Dad, I'm fighting. He goes, you not been training? I said, I've been training. He called up my trainer at the time, which was Mick Akaway, who was Bilal Akaway's dad. You're probably fond with. He's a beast, an Australian prospect. And we went from there. 1 fight, 2 fights, 3 fights, and here we are.
Far out. How'd you get involved with Jeff and that?
I fought on Brock's undercard.
Yeah.
I think 4th or 5th amateur fight, and I just loved the way Brock fought. And I was watching him and I was thinking, fuck, this guy's a beast, man. I'd love to fight like him.
A different style to most people in Australia.
Pressure, and he's exciting too.
Inside
like for the fans, he's an all-action fighter, and I'm thinking, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to fight. So I messaged Jeff on Facebook and said, could I come do a session with you?
He used to train your dad?
He trained my dad. My dad got out of a boys' home. He was locked up till he was about 19 or 18 or something, and got out and boxed under Jeff.
So you had that relationship there.
Yeah. So Jeff, there's photos of Jeff holding me as a baby and stuff.
Wow.
And then I didn't see him for a while, and then here we are. Gone to Thailand a couple of times, gone to America. He's taken me. I met Tyson. I've met everyone through Jeff. So Jeff's it's a privilege. Yeah.
What do you reckon makes him a good coach?
He's been there. I think there's a lot of trainers now that they've never put gloves on in their life, and they think they know.
Yeah.
Some are doing a great job, but Jeff's had the experience of fighting for multiple world titles. He won 3 different world titles in weights going up. Should have been 4. He did get robbed, but he's been there. It's all about experience.
So he trains you and Brock? Only you and Brock? Or
as a whole team. There's me, Brock. There's Tyler Blizzard. There's Jack Brubaker. There's Luke Jackson. There's a whole stable of guys. Tyler Blizzard. I don't know if I mentioned him.
Yeah.
He's a silver medalist at the I was going to say Paralympics. That's and he's not the
unless he's fighting with one arm.
No, he's at the Commonwealth. Thanks. The Commonwealth Games. My bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a whole team of exciting young guys coming through, and they're killing it. They're all killing it.
That's cracker. So you full-time boxer, yeah?
Box of chocolates.
When did you turn full time?
I'm blessed to have sponsors, man. Like,
is that what it takes to get full time? or is it like the more you fight, the more money you can live off? Like, how does it work?
I've experienced firsthand, like watching my dad, how hard boxing is, and watching all these guys, come up, and the best fighters sometimes don't make it, So, having a guy like Jeff in my corner enables me to get sponsors, and they're attracted by having Jeff Fennick around me and all this type of stuff. And I'm blessed to have the team that I do, and they help me take time off work and stuff. I was working at the airport for a bit.
Yeah.
When I first started Jeff, I was walking up to his gym in my steel cap boots with mud falling off everywhere and stuff. And
After work.
then I had my first sponsor, then my second sponsor, then I kept fighting, and they jumped on board. And I can't thank them enough. They helped me go overseas, helped me do everything I'm doing. And
That's mad.
now we're fine on TV. Things are starting to pay off.
What's your resume like? Is it 2 sessions a day, 5 days a week?
6 days a week, two a day.
Yeah.
Which I
Just train, rest.
train rest.
That's
yeah.
a cracker.
And it's alright. It gets boring in between sometimes.
Yeah, it's repetitive.
No, I don't mind. Like boxing training, I'll do the same stuff every day, no problem. But when I finish training at 10 o'clock, I go home, I lie down, I rest. I've smashed every movie on Netflix.
Yeah,
I've
can't do
smashed
anything stupid.
everything on stand. I've smashed everything, so it does get a bit boring sometimes. And but I'd not rather do anything else in the world, man. This is the best thing ever. Yeah,
That's
the best thing ever.
Doing what you love.
100%. They say you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. I haven't felt
it.
like I've worked before, so
That's a cracker.
this is great. Yeah.
How long do you want to fight for?
Forever. As long as the body holds up.
Yeah.
As long as I'm in good condition and I don't have anything like this on, and
That came from your last fight?
this happened in my last fight. I hurt my hand on my first training session in Thailand leading into it. So we had no sparring at all leading into the last fight. We had about 2 to 3 spars, and you can say I beat Gurdon with one hand.
Yeah.
Trent, I beat you with
Fucking
one
hell.
hand, Trent.
Fucking hell, we'll take that. What's
Didn't
Thailand
know.
like?
Thailand's fun. Jeff's like a celebrity there. They all know him.
Seriously?
He knows the best restaurants, the best places to stay, and
Best massages?
best massages. Strictly sports.
Strictly massage.
Sports, yeah, sports related. But they're fun. Going down to the team, it's real fun, man. It's hot, 40 plus degrees sparring.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose some weight if you go.
Then
bro.
kickboxing gyms or is this boxing
There's
gyms?
kickboxing gyms. There's a gym on every corner there. But we hire out a gym. Jeff hires out a gym just for us.
Why do you go there? Is it because of trainers you like there or just to climate and
It's just
focus?
climate and focus and just back away from everything and just 2 weeks of solid concentration and it'll put you 30 steps ahead.
Seriously.
And that's what I feel it's beneficial for a lot of my camps. I'd love to start off with Thailand.
That's the whole team goes?
Sometimes I've been with me, Brock and Jeff. I've been with me and Jeff once. I've been just whoever's fit and ready to go. And Brock's had a bad back, so he couldn't come on the last one.
Yeah.
But it's funny because that camp was for him.
For Brock.
So I just fought a week before, and we were going for Brock, and I was going to help Brock out with sparring. Out of nowhere, Brock hurts his back. No Limit called me and go, "You want to fight Gurdon in 4 weeks?" I'm like, "Fuck, this is my own camp now. Let's do it." So it's funny how things turned around, and we ended up,
Was that your first No Limit fight?
second.
Second.
Yeah.
So how'd that relationship start? They became aware of you or you reached out to him?
I have a friend, Jacob Rocker, who's pretty close with him, and he's kind of planted the seed there for a while. And he told No Limit boys about me and stuff. And then I started seeing him, like when Jack fought Tim Zoo.
Yep.
I went and introduced myself, told him I want to fight in his shows one day and stuff. And every now and then you see him and you shake your hand and you let him remember you a bit, and you follow him on Instagram, and you kind of try to wiggle your way through. And then I ended up on a show thanks to Jeff and Jake. And
because they're putting on the best cards in Australia, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and they're doing like a full show. I feel like I'm not big in boxing history in Australia, but as like the local shows in maybe like Canberra and stuff. But there's no like press conferences, there's no social media, no fight promos that come to the gym and stuff. So like they're doing the whole thing.
Everyone thinks boxing's like a lucrative sport with money and full of money, and because Floyd, they see Floyd, they see these guys driving these cars and stuff. But 1 in a million get that.
Yeah.
1 in a million get that.
Takes a long time to
100%. And you start off with these local shows that can't afford a presser, can't afford this and that. But thanks to No Limit, they're providing a platform for guys like myself, guys like you know, young and up and comers like Thailand, Brock, and everything.
And there'll be more of it in the future. I know.
Yeah, and they're putting on mad shows. Like guys, they're selling out stadiums. Like look at, I'm not talking myself up. Me and Trent was a good fight. Like it's fights people want to see. There's not a guy that's 15-0 fighting a guy 0-5 from Fiji, and he's coming just to feed his family and stuff. You know, it's competitive fights, entertainment. Guys like to talk some shit. Guys like to do this and that. So it's fun. There's guys like Nikita just knocking guys out like that, and Paul Gallen's coming through and talking and doing his thing, and Paul's a fucking legend. So it's fun. It's exciting times in Australian boxing.
You've been around some big names like Paul Gallen, Mike Tyson. I want to get into, but someone who's like, I've seen a video of you with him, but is also with Brock a lot. Mark Bouris.
Yeah.
What's his influence like in that camp?
I've known Mark for a while now. Mark's just how do I explain him? He's such a generous and nice guy. He's a fan of boxing. He understands what we go through.
He boxes himself sometimes.
He does, yeah. I've seen him put a few beatings on some guys before.
I'm
not gonna name who.
He does the charity thing I've seen as well. Where he actually does a full fight.
And he's real good looking for his age. Like physicality wise, his body's great, and he looks after himself real well. There's only one thing bad about him. He goes for the Roosters.
Who do you go for?
I'm a Doggy supporter.
Oh, fucking no. Fucking no. We're going to hook something up.
We got it.
Yeah. Did you play footy or only soccer?
Nah, I played footy once just to get out of school one day. You know, and then I got smashed. I copped it. Nah, I was too small for footy, bro. Some guy ran straight at me. He smashed me. I didn't want to play footy again.
I probably can't fight, but...
No, I couldn't fight back then either.
We should get that in the podcast.
We should get that in the podcast.
It's still recording.
I'll message Justin Frost. I want the winner. Justin.
Turn the mic.
I'll message George Rose saying I want the winner of Justin Frost and Dean Thomas for the Australian title. Australian Super Lightweight title. There we go.
When's that
and I said
happening?
I want the winner. That's July 9th. I'll be good.
Ready?
Yeah, I'll be good by August, September.
Make it happen, Georgie.
Let's do it. Come on, Georgie. Do me a favour, brother.
That's the money fight.
Let's bring an Australian title to No Limit. Stick it there.
That's the money fight. Fucking oath. Do you have... How big's your team? So you got Jeff's your trainer?
Jeff's the trainer.
You have a manager?
Jeff's the sort of manager, trainer. Yeah, he just puts everything in place for everyone, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Then there's Brock, who's world rated, top 10 in the world, I think in 61 or 63 and a half. I don't know.
And you get your dad as well in your corner?
My dad's in my corner. And there's a guy named Basil, who's a pad man. I don't know if you've seen a guy, looks like Ibrahimovic.
Long hair?
Yeah, he looks like Zlatan, and he's got the ponytail and stuff. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He does the pads and stuff. He's always there. He's good fun. Bringing him overseas and stuff. He's one of the funniest cunts.
Have a good time?
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
Good looking lad.
He is.
I like him in Thailand.
They love him down there. The boys.
Do you lean into your social media much? Like, how do you feel like getting yourself out there, posting stuff, calling people out, talking shit?
Like I said, I'm not much of a shit talker, but watching the kind of stuff that I got from my last fight afterwards, like all the attention and the eyes, guys want to sponsor me.
It helps, eh?
Guys telling me, I went to school with Trent, smashed these guys. They're like all the messages I got and stuff. It's pretty fun. And when I had dinner the week week of my fight, and the owner of the guys, the restaurant said, we watched you fight, man. You know, they gave us a bit of discount off and sent some stuff to the table and stuff. And, you know, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you also know you got to lean into it as well in terms of the business, like posting your training and showing, you know, what you do outside of the ring, because it helps, like you said, build that platform and
stuff like
get the money fights.
Me being on a podcast like this does a lot for me, and I appreciate you doing that for me.
Just want to take it to number one main event.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so.
I appreciate you coming on, bro.
Nah, brother, you're a legend. But
what do you do outside of the ring?
What if I do? I play FIFA, bro. Just hang out, man. Yeah, I like to eat. I do like to eat a lot, and that's probably something that I need to start getting a bit more stricter on with myself. Yeah, and I got a guy, a sponsor of mine. I'm gonna make a shout out to the Shack, and the owner Steve just put me on a diet, which I started yesterday because I can't train. So he's like, "You're gonna get fat," and I said, "All right, help me out." So we've got I went to some vitamin store and I fucking spent like $500 there. I bought everything. I bought all this stuff. So I'm on all these greens and all this stuff. So hopefully I'm like Superman in a couple of weeks. So when I'm ready to go, not 10 steps behind. That's
As
what I
long
want
as
to
it's
do.
Asado approved.
Yeah,
But,
no, 100%. It's all natural.
you mentioned before Mike Tyson as well. I wanted to get into that. What was that like? You went to America?
It's crazy, bro. Yeah, meeting Mike. I was just sitting there and I'm just looking at him thinking, fuck, I'm with Mike. This is the guy I watched from young age on YouTube. Watch this guy fucking bite people's ears and do everything.
Yeah.
Watch him knock people, grown men out
Not
unconscious.
human in a way.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at this guy and he's there. He's smoking his joint. He's just smoking. I'm looking at him. I'm thinking, fuck.
Smoke with him?
Nah. He offered, but nah, I didn't smoke with him.
Ah.
No, I didn't smoke with him. But a lot of people probably have, and none of us did that day. But I'm sure.
First night, please.
I'm sure this guy's smoking and blowing all the smoke everywhere.
He's secondhand
Man,
smoke.
we'll probably all high for all I know. But
Yeah.
I would never have the balls to tell Mike to put his joint out.
No way. No
Let
way.
him do his thing. But
You know, there's one person who I think can make Mike not smoke, and that's Habib. He did his podcast. I don't know if you've seen
I've
it.
seen he said something. Yeah,
He does his hot boxing podcast
Yeah.
and he smokes the whole thing. But this one with Habib, he didn't smoke anything.
Right.
But he was sitting there like a vegetable for most of it.
Yeah.
So I think he smashed mushrooms and joints and stuff.
Mike's funny.
Because he did it out of respect, he didn't want to do it.
Yeah. Mike's Mike. But I'll tell you one funny thing. I'm sitting down and we just had lunch and he's gone and sparked up another joint. And I'm just here just looking at this guy thinking, fuck, this is Mike. And then he looks at me and he goes, I wonder who my ancestors were 10,000 years ago. And I'm like, what the fuck's going through his head? And then he just takes another thing and I go, man. He goes, they're not gonna. What do you say, man? I wonder who they are 10,000 years from now. I wonder who my ancestors are 10,000 years from now. They're not gonna remember us. And I said, you're always gonna be remembered. They're not gonna remember me. They're gonna fucking remember Iron Mike. And he said, they're probably gonna make me out to be a white boy. I started laughing at him, and that's just Mike. He's just how we're talking. That's how he is,
Yeah.
and he's just a nice guy and
He's changed, eh?
down
Different
to earth, brother.
person.
Yeah.
Did you get much of his boxing knowledge and stuff out of him? Or was it just meeting, like
We
in
watched
that setting?
Brock fought a couple of days before in America. Made his US debut, so we watched Brock's fight, and Mike was just telling us, what to do, what not to do, and use the jab and all this type of stuff. So sitting down, listening, and watching a fight with Tyson was something I'll never forget.
Crazy,
To
man.
the day I die, I'll never ever forget it. And,
Far out.
so I'm privileged. Thanks to Jeff for taking me out there. Shout out to Jeff, and hopefully I get to meet Mike again one day.
What about the American boxing? Like, what was that experience like? I know you said they had to keep getting new sparring partners and that, but
Yeah.
it's a completely different
That
now.
was in Vegas, and Brock was smashing everyone there. And I was sparring guys, but I was sparring, I think, one of Devin Haney's guys there. And we were sparring. He's a southpaw, and I'll put my hands up, and he'll just land a jab on the outside of my gloves. He won't even hit me, and they'll all be all his team and stuff. There were about 40 of them screaming, yeah, like screaming back, and
Yeah.
saying, fuck this white boy. That's what one of these guys was saying. I was thinking, fucking relax.
Far
bro.
out.
And then whenever I land
You
something,
did it at work, yeah?
yeah,
Together.
they're hostile. They're real
Yeah.
hostile, but that's them, man. They're known to be like that, and they back their own kind. It's not like us Aussie guys. Everyone in Australia is hoping, like you said, I'm one of the only guys that want George to win. But all of the guys hate each other in here.
Yeah.
Australia needs to get behind all each other, I think, and just support each other. I think it would be much better for everybody.
Yeah. I hate to use the term. Everyone says it's tall poppy syndrome, but everyone's, I don't know,
For sure, man.
for
sure.
jealousy in that. But sounds like dick
Brock told me
measuring.
he fought in Mexico. He said when he went and fought the Mexican in Mexico, everyone was behind the Mexican. When he went and fought the Thai in Thailand, everyone's behind the Thai. When you go and fight the Filipino in Australia, everyone's behind the Filipino.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's crazy. It's
That's
weird.
Everyone
It's
wants to
weird.
see the Aussie lose.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that's cause like tall poppy syndrome, or cause we're so like multicultural? Like you're like a Lebo in Australia, you're second generation, but you know what I mean. If you're fighting from Lebanon, do you reckon
But
it's
I met
just-
a guy. I've never met him, but I've seen a post on Facebook. Some Australian guy out from Central Coast named his son after my dad, and he's an Aussie guy. He named his son Nader.
Wow,
His son's got a Lebo name. So I don't think. Yeah, I don't know.
it's just a tall poppy syndrome.
That's
then.
what I think, bro. That's what I think.
Yeah, fuck that.
But we were there sparring, and it went into Brock's camp. So he started off as Brock's camp. Brock fought. Then I get the call from No Limit to fight Girdham the first time.
Far out.
I took it.
This is before Thailand.
This was in America last year. So me and Girdham were supposed to have a fight before. I had to pull out a week and a half to go. I was sick, bad. My tonsils were that big. I was on a drip in hospital. Jeff made the decision. I still wanted to fight. But Jeff loves me and I love him for that. You know, some guys will just say, "Fucking throw him in."
Yeah.
And
It looks up
who
to
knows,
Spider.
bro? Who knows? You'd probably lose, bro, going in 50% or 20% or 30%.
Who's your favorite boxer of all time?
Put me on the spot.
Apart from your dad, I'll save you in case he watches this.
Dad. Nah, Arturo Gatti. I don't know if you know Arturo Gatti. If you ever watch this guy, man, he's not the best boxer. This guy was so skillful and just a fucking warhorse. He'll just watch his fights. I don't know how to explain him. He's from he's in America. He's American. Yeah, he's a beast, man. He's a beast. He's had wars like back and forth. He'll get dropped. The other guy, and just crazy. He retired and died the next year or two, man.
Oh, yeah.
Some shit happened. Never got to enjoy the spoils of war. But fuck, what a fighter.
There's so many.
Who's your favorite fighter?
Like we got the generic answer of Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather. I love Floyd as well. He's a hard cunt.
It's not too entertaining as a boxing fan.
And
say guys that know boxing,
I like
we
technique,
love it.
I'm not a fucking boxing master, but I like technique. Like when I watch UFC, I like jiu-jitsu and shit. But probably, I don't know, probably Cambosis right now, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I've followed him for a while. It's just crazy to see someone like, I'm sure when I watch you further down your career, see someone start so little and, you know, rise
up. I seen him. I remember he was at my first amateur fight, and I was like, "Fucking George Cambosis, watch me." And he shook my hand.
Yeah,
and he was like Australian champion at the time. It was nothing, but to see where he's gone from there to now, it's crazy.
That's why I loved Conor McGregor too, because I watched him from the start and like seeing someone like
just
that,
take off. I want Conor to come back, bro.
Me too. Me and Joey were talking about it. Like I can't stand him losing.
Every time he comes back, fuck it, I love UFC again. He's the man, bro.
He's just one of those guys that like. He just changed the sport.
I still have hope in here that he's going to come and knock these cunts out again.
And it hurts when he doesn't.
When he broke his leg and stuff.
I kind of wish he didn't get into boxing because it's like changed. But at the same time, that fucking shot the UFC up like crazy.
For sure, it did.
But now he fights like a boxer. He doesn't fight like that light style anymore. But
I don't know. I don't think he's a heart's in anymore. You don't see hunger like
so rich.
You know, you used to see him just want to kill everyone. Yeah, he doesn't have that in him anymore.
So
I just say if you got 300 million in the bank,
so rich.
Are you gonna go to work?
Exactly. It's gonna be hard to go to a gym.
It's more than 300. I don't know. He's got fucking
way more.
Money, brother.
He's driving a freaking Lamborghini yacht today.
I seen it in his little nice blue and thing. Yeah.
It's gonna be hard to go to a freaking a boxing gym.
As if you
got
all this comfort in your life and you want to go run.
Yeah. Do you keep that in the back of your mind when you know further down your career? How do you balance that, or how do you stay on the right path?
Like I said,
I know 300 million's a lot,
for him to, like I said, that's like one in a million, bro. That's crazy.
But still, you can get to that stage, even like
it's achievable. It is.
Even Cambosis' stage would be.
That's crazy. George is set.
Yeah.
George, win or lose this next fight, there's a rematch clause. So if he loses, he's set, and if he wins, he's on to a bigger fight. Yeah. So George has made it in this sport, and to get to those levels, you just got to I've seen guys like Jeff Horn. He said he lost the hunger for the sport after he earned some money. And a lot of guys do that.
Is that in the back of your mind?
Never thought about it. I've thought about winning world title and stuff, but I've just thought of stuff within reach. My goals, I like to just keep them small, step
achievable.
By step. I have the goal at the top. But
you focus on a micro, like
Australian title. Then this,
you know what you need to do to get to the top one.
Yeah. So I never really thought about am I going to be hungry still or anything like that. But
just keep fighting.
I think for me, just having 2 weeks off, bro. I've had I feel like there's nothing to live for. I haven't trained, so I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
So I go to fill that void. I go eat. I go get the chocolate from the fridge and fucking do this and that. And TikTok doesn't help. My TikTok's all food.
Yeah.
So when I see something, I'll
TikTok's
make it.
TikTok's the number one app, bro, right now.
Yeah, it's killing it.
A shout out Joey is here. It's fucking... Cuz, why don't you upload more? Every upload's a banger, but he does it once a month.
You made me laugh, brother. You and your old man have made cracking me up
some
a couple
good
times.
TikToks. He needs to upload more. Go backtrack a little bit. How you said you're getting into a bit of trouble back in the day when you were younger. How do you stay clear of that right now and surround yourself you know, the right people and
Just
stay out of trouble.
I've had like a taste of boxing, and I've had a taste of doing that. What's so good about having a cig in your mouth? What's so good about getting involved in the wrong shit and think about consequences and making your mum unhappy, making your dad unhappy, my dad's well respected in my community, and for me to make that name, you know, that last name a bit shit doesn't interest me at all. Me being young, I've made the wrong choices, but I've hopefully made it right now in doing what I do.
Yeah, I reckon come from Muslim background too, eh? So do I. So growing up in that environment too is like.
I was in a Muslim public school from kindy to 6. Yeah, I'll give you a fun fact about me. I know how to read Arabic. Seriously? I can't understand it.
I can't even talk it properly.
I can't understand it, bro. I'll try if my grandma speaks to me, so I'll try to put together a couple words and make sense
of it. And then you're way off.
I'm way off, still
and
way off.
Look at your parents like.
No, I don't know.
What you say?
But that's the same with them with English, so we try to improvise and
Where do you want to be in 2 years?
I'll be world rated. Hopefully, No Limit can keep putting me on their shows. I want to keep putting on performances for them.
That goes into my last question.
Yeah.
I've got the ratings here. You mentioned there's a fight for the vacant title, so who do you want next?
I want Justin Frost or Dean Thomas, the winner of the Australian title. I want to win the Australian title. My dad won that belt. Jeff won that belt. So many greats have won that belt before they've gone to George. Everyone's won the Australian title before they go on. Mundine, Danny Green, everyone. So give me an Aussie title and let's see what happens after that.
You can beat either of them. Doesn't matter who.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care who. Whoever's got it. I don't care whoever's got it. I don't care if Sam Jaffa's got it.
I know.
But yeah, that's what I want to do, and hopefully all of Australia can get behind me, bro. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
We will be. Thank you for coming.
Thanks, my brother.
Shout out to Maddie for the
Thanks
office.
for having me.
Shout out to the Fuchs boys for the gear. Your
Thanks,
team.
Boys. I want to give you also. I've got this stuff for you, but I want to give you a. I don't think you'll be able to hear me, but this glove and
we'll take a picture of it. I appreciate it
for sure.
We'll show it here. Fucking oath. Sorry, thanks, Matt. This one's not going up here. It's coming to my future studio. But we'll take a photo and all of that. But thanks for coming on, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
Champion.